we've got the old F1 cars on track with Mick in a Toyota, and the 5 lights are out and away we go. Josh with a really good start, but Zoidberg with a better start with Zoidberg in P1 here, Lightning McQueen in P2, as Lightning McQueen is trying to gain some time on Zoidberg here. Can Josh try keep his Honda in the slipstream with Cash gaining quite a lot of time? That's really cool, the axle's spinning, and it's actually visible. That is actually really cool. Check out the axles, it's just spinning. Yeah, well, not expecting that detail here, though. But Cash is in P2, Dan is in P3 here. Can Dan try and make a move on the outside or inside? Zoidberg leading by 2.5 seconds. Where's Regan? Are you commentating as well? Or? On. Oh, fuck you know. But, yeah, I don't either. Yeah, true. No, but people race with bodies, stupid. Yeah, but Regan, people got. No, but also Regan, people race with Bop anyway, so it's pointless putting a turbo in if you're fucking going to race with Bop. But anyways, it's 2 car wide for P3 between Cash and Josh, the open wheel drivers. Can Josh in the Lightning McQueen Honda here try overtake Cash as Josh is in P4 trying to overtake for P3 here? Can he carry it on the inside? No, he can't. Cash crashes into the wall there. Cockpit view is really nice actually. What, almost 200k? Oh, and he's hit the wall. As that's Dan almost crashing, and Zoidberg is really pushing that Honda to the limits as it hits the wall a tiny bit. What, almost 200 k's an hour? I broke the pedal, guys. I'll have to crash. As it's now Zoidberg 5 seconds ahead of everyone. He's quite good at driving this Honda. As Josh Regan, why are you not here? We need you. Never mind, actually, we've got Miss here. Miss, you're the safety car, is that alright? Miss, you'll have to be the safety car. Zoide. Yep. 100k an hour at least. If you go any over or any under, well, actually under by 10k is okay, but any under. Yes. I mean, he's bouncing off 100 basically, so yeah. You sure? Is he in this part? No, but I understand. Mate, after this corner, you will pull off onto the grass. Okay, just drive off it. Yeah, it does. It's actually really effective. As that's Zoidberg and P1 here, trying to keep Dan behind him, and can Dan try and make a move? As that's Cash making a move on Dan, and Dan moves down to P5. Josh also makes a move. Cash going off the track as it's 2 car wide, almost between Dan and Josh, but Cash runs off the track, almost side by side is Josh and Cash. Can Cash try keep Josh behind? He's going to try into the final corner, and he does, as Josh is in P4 with his red tailpipes, with the Lightning McQueen livery. Nice livery, by the way, Josh, just to let you know. And we've got Dan with number 18. We've got number 95, sorry. When there's Cash with number 11, then there's Zoide with number 11 as well. So the two teammates are both in front. Cash, P2, he cannot turn, he's hit the wall, and that's Josh and Dan going through past Cash here, as Myth is following in the safety car. How hard are you pushing Myth? Not safety car, rather. Easy. Oh yeah, he's on the outside. Then Zoidberg will lead him by 3 seconds already, as that's Josh in P2, 3 seconds behind P1, but 3/10 in front of P3 and 4, as that's Dan trying to make a move on Josh. Dan cannot make a move on Josh, and that's Josh keeping it in P2, sorry. Myth is being outrun by these lot, brother. Wow. Most likely. He's not actually, he's actually taking the racing. As it's a 2-car battle for P2 here, between Dan and Josh. Can Dan try and make a move around the outside now? As that's Dan being squeezed almost onto the grass there, as Josh is defending his P2. As we see Dan currently 2 car wide with Josh, and he's gained a place with Cash also gaining a place. Let's go on board with, let's go helmet view with Josh actually, just to see what happens in that cockpit, because I've not been in a cockpit of one of these in ages. As the 2 people in P2 on 3 lose the exit, and Josh only gets past Cash. As we see Josh turning around the corner, finding it hard to turn, as it is quite an old car with no downforce whatsoever. So it is hard to drive these cars at their maximum capability, as we see Dan and Josh sliding, but Josh hits the wall though, as Josh is now 1.5 seconds behind Dan. Cash is only 6 tenths behind. Then we have Mick in the safety car just 9 tenths behind. What can the safety car try to do? As he's got the insurance safety car livery up. Then we've got Cash, who's in the slipstream. He's gaining quite a lot on Josh here. Can Josh try not let the British driver pass, as that's Cash running really wide on the exit, going off the track, and Zoid is leading by 7 seconds, just coming around the first corner, and the rest have only just entered the first corner, as we see Dan sliding in the background as broadcast view with Zoidberg here. Zoidberg has got the fastest lap of a 2:13.1, as he's really riding the curbs and he's sideways on the exit. What a save from Zoidberg, as he barely saves it at the skin of his teeth. These Hondas do not like the curbs whatsoever. As the exhaust are kind of acting like spoilers on the back really, so it's kind of helping, but it's just there to get the gas out and everything like that. Then he's leading by 7.8 seconds now, with Josh behind Dan still, as Dan slides down the chicane down into the dip, and that really affects other group cars, but this is okay really, as there's not too much sliding around, as that's Cash 2 seconds behind. 2 seconds behind Josh here, and Josh is really pushing 250 kilometers in the Honda, setting the fastest sector 3 by 3 tenths of a second. He's only 3 tenths behind as well, so he'll try gain a place, as that's Dan going off the track there, leaving Josh in P2 now, who is 8 seconds behind Zoidberg, who might as well already claim he's P1 here at Australia, but Josh has set the fastest lap of a 2:13.1 3-1, as Zoid is a 2:13.18, so barely any time between those two on their fastest lap. Dan overtakes Josh once again. Cash has gained quite a few seconds, and Josh might even try and make a move on Dan, but he doesn't. He tries to apply the pressure, which seems to be working, as Josh runs a tiny bit wide, running onto the curb. Josh goes up on the inside. He might even try and make a move onto the left-hander here, Josh in the Lightning McQueen Honda, sideways on the exit, so he's Dan might have hit the wall a tiny bit there, leaving Josh in P2, maybe even Cash in P3. Let's go on board with Cashy as he is attacking Josh, coming into sector 2, about to come over the tiny crest. Will he make it to Kawhi? No, he won't, but there's the Lightning McQueen Honda coming around, about to come to Skyline here. Now coming down into the chicane, there's Cash, really sideways after he's dipped half of his car onto the grass and to braking just to slow that Honda down, but he's really trying as he's trying to make it to Kawhi with Josh. Coming on to Conroe Straight now, they are side by side. Let's go on board with Dan to see what Josh does on Cash, as he cannot do anything. But it will be 2 car wide between Josh and Dan. It's lap 7 out of 10. Josh is giving it all he's got in the Honda engine. So is Dan. Cash is quite under pressure, and that's Dan causing a crash, and that's a yellow flag in sector 3. And that's Josh off the track. Are we calling safety car? Myth. Zoide. Safety car, Zoide. There was a massive crash in as we've got Josh in P1 here, as it's already 2 car wide. Don't know if it's even allowed just after the safety car restart, as that's Zoidberg trying to apply some pressure. Dan almost spinning out here. Let's go broadcast view. Cash sending it up on the inside there of Josh. I think he's hit the wall. No, he hasn't, but he's following Cash, coming down down the mountain now. Zoidberg in P3 trying to apply some pressure onto Josh, as that's a car sideways of Cash, and that's Zoidberg side by side with Josh as we come on to Conroe Straight. There's a tiny bit of contact. Surprise, Zoidberg did not crash there, as he's in the slipstream of his own teammate. Can Zoidberg try to overtake his own teammate on Conroe Straight? He is side by side. He will try and make a move, and then up on the inside they are rubbing wheels. Cash almost onto the grass there as they are side by side. Zoidberg goes off the track. Dan overtakes. Dan just about escapes contact with Zoidberg, and Zoidberg goes really sideways there, as it's now Cash 8/10 ahead. Now here's a tiny bit of contact between Josh and Dan here, leaving Zoidberg to get past Dan. Zoidberg is in P2 after overtaking Josh. I've noticed with these cars, the slipstream with these old cars are really helpful, and it's just immaculate on how much speed it's possible to gain from the slipstream. As we've seen Zoidberg going 240, then there's Josh going 250, 260, which is just amazing to see on how these cars operate under the dirty air they've got ahead. But here's Josh now trying to apply some pressure onto Zoidberg, who's applying some pressure onto Dan as they clash wheels, and that's Zoidberg into the wall, saving his car. Dan has been caught up by the safety car, and that's Mick hitting Dan on the rear there to try and catch up. Well done, Mick. You're promoting fast racing pace here with your safety car. As it's currently 2-car battle for P2 with Cash, who's just 3 seconds ahead, as he's got no dirt here and no pressure to worry about. Who? I didn't see that. As now Cash, he's under pressure from Zoidberg if he doesn't spin out. As now that's Dan in the number 18 Honda trying to apply some pressure onto Zoidberg, as there is no pressure to be given as Zoidberg continues to hit the wall with his grooved tires. Don't worry, Zoidberg. Josh has also hit the wall, so it's fine. As that's now done in P2. Josh, you're only 8 seconds behind P1. As it's currently a 3-car battle for P1 here. It's a final lap as well. What can Zoidberg try to do on Cash and Dan? As it might even be 3-car wide here. And it is 3-car wide, and there's almost contact. Cash is onto the grass. Cash has made a wonderful overtake, but he's off the track, and that's Zoidberg in P1. As that's Zoidberg's teammate off the track. And he's in P3 on the safety cars, even caught up to him. As here comes Josh, he's retired. Cash is handbraking it around corners, I think. Not entirely sure. And there we go. Cash in P3, Dan in P2, and Zoidberg in P1. Well done. Then the safety car P4 by the way, guys.